Vanakkam. In this video, you will get to know what is moratorium, what are the benefits and drawbacks, what is the time period we can avail moratorium, on availing, what will be the impact on our loan EMI and loan tenure, who should and who should not utilize the moratorium benefits. Welcome to A4E channel. If you are visiting our channel for the first time, please do subscribe our channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. To explain moratorium in two simple words, it is a temporary suspension. Due to the current situation, RBI has announced moratorium to benefit the people, those who cannot pay the EMI on time due to the economic slowdown. It is very clear that it is only the grace period to pay the loan EMIs and it is not a waiver. All the EMIs which we are not paying in this moratorium period needs to be repaid by us after it is over. And the most important thing is, along with the EMIs which are pending, we need to pay the interest amount which is getting accumulated during this period in our loan account. Next, we can see the moratorium period, that is when we can avail the moratorium benefits. In the first announcement on 27th of March 2020, the government has announced the moratorium period for 3 months, that is 1st March 2020 to 31st May 2020. And in the second announcement on 22nd May 2020, it is extended for another 3 months, that is from 1st June 2020 to 31st August 2020. So altogether, the moratorium period would be for 6 months, that is starting from 1st March 2020 till 31st August 2020. So those who cannot pay the EMIs during this period can avail the moratorium benefits. All the financial sectors which are functioning under RBI should provide this moratorium benefits to their customers. That is all India financial institutions, all banking sectors and non-banking financial companies. Few banking companies are providing this moratorium benefits to all their customers where they cannot pay their EMI during this period can avail the benefits and pay the EMI later. But few financial sectors are providing the options to their customers. Either they can opt these benefits and pay the EMI later or pay their regular EMI as usual. Which type of benefits can be given to the customers can be selected by the bank on its own. Next, benefits of moratorium. The main benefit is those who cannot pay the EMI in this current situation can avail this moratorium benefits, which will be helpful for them in this current situation, and they can repay the EMIs later once the situation is getting better. Next benefit is this moratorium benefits can be availed for all type of loans, that is housing loan, car loan, gold loan and even the credit card bills. Next, drawbacks of moratorium. On availing this moratorium benefits, only the EMI amount is getting postponed. But there will be an interest amount charged on your loan account for your outstanding loan amount and it will be accumulated in your loan account. That is, for example, if you are availing this benefits for 3 months, you are going to start paying the EMI from 4th month onwards. But the interest amount will be charged for this entire 3 months for the loan outstanding amount and it will be accumulated in your loan account, which you need to repay after the moratorium period is over. We can see how these interests are charged in your loan or credit cards with an example for better understanding. First, for loans. Considering you are paying 10,000 EMI per month. Already in this 10,000, there will be a principal component and interest component. For example, 6,000 is your principal component and 4,000 is your interest. So when you avail the moratorium benefits for 3 months, for the entire 3 months, you are not going to pay any EMI and 4th month onwards, you are going to pay the regular EMI 10,000 per month. But for this entire 3 months, there will be an additional charges of interest. That is, the 4,000 interest amount will be charged month on month for the entire 3 months and the interest amount of 12,000 rupees will be added to your loan account. That is, from 4th month onwards, you are going to pay the regular EMI, which already consists of principal component and interest component. Apart from that, the additional interest which is being charged for this moratorium period will be accumulated and you need to repay along with your EMIs. We can see how interests are charged on your credit card, which are very high compared to loan EMIs. For example, you are getting a credit card bill on June month for 20,000 rupees. You are availing the moratorium benefits. So you are not paying any amount on June month. When you see the July month bill, you will get the bill for entire outstanding of June, that is 20,000 rupees, and along with that interest being charged for 20,000 rupees. For example, it would be around 1,000 rupees. So July month bill will be 21,000. On July month also, you are availing the moratorium benefits and you are not paying any amount. When you see the August month bill, you will get 21,000 of July outstanding plus interest. It would be around 1,200. So altogether, the August month bill would be 22,200. So the interest will be high when you compare the loan EMI. Better to pay the credit card amount dues instead of availing the moratorium benefits for credit cards. The only benefit you are getting on availing moratorium benefits on your credit card is there is no late payment fee charges, but all other additional charges are applicable. Regarding how to use credit card effectively, a video is already posted in our channel. Please watch out the link in the description. Usually, when you are not paying any EMIs on time, your CIBIL score will get affected. But during this moratorium period, if you are not paying any EMI, your CIBIL score will not get affected. All the financial sectors are providing 3 different options to pay the interest amount being charged in this moratorium period. First option is you can pay the interest amount in a single shot once the moratorium period is over. Second option is after the moratorium period is over, you are going to start paying the EMI, but your tenure is getting increased due to this interest being added to your loan account. Third option is after the moratorium period, you are going to start paying the EMI, your tenure remains the same, but your EMI amount is getting increased due to the interest added in your loan account. I am going to explain with a clear example. Considering your EMI amount is 10,000 rupees with principal component 6,000 and 4,000 interest component. The balance tenure needs to be paid to complete the loan is 20 months. In the first option, that is, you are availing the moratorium period for 6 months and 20 months remaining tenure is there. So altogether 26 months are there to complete your loan, in which first 6 months you are availing the moratorium benefits and the remaining 20 months you are paying the EMI. So the 7th month when you start paying the EMI, you need to pay the interest accumulated for this 6 months. That is 4,000 per month. It is around 24,000 which you need to pay at the beginning of the 7th month, so that your EMI and tenure remains the same for the entire 20 months to complete the loan. When you see the second option, that is the 6 months you are availing the moratorium period and 20 months tenure are remaining. So if the interest amount being added to your tenure, your EMI amount remains same, that is 10,000 per month from 7th month onwards, but tenure will get increased beyond 26 months, around 4 or 5 months to pay this interest amount. In third option, when you see you are availing the moratorium for 6 months and your tenure is 20 months, so 26 months tenure will be there, but EMI amount instead of 10,000 it would be around 11,000 or 12,000 according to your interest, and you need to pay that increased EMI amount for the remaining 20 months to complete your loan. These are the ways you can pay the interest back which is being charged in this moratorium period. Lastly, we can see who should and who shouldn't opt this moratorium benefits. Generally, if you have a loan tenure for 20 years, if you have less remaining tenures, you can opt for moratorium benefits, and if you have more remaining tenures to be completed, you shouldn't opt this moratorium benefits. When I explain this with an example, you will clearly understand. I am considering 20 years of loan, remaining tenure is only 2 years. So the interest amount is charged in the end of the tenure, that is in the 18th, 19th or 20th year, will be around 10 to 20% only. So the interest amount which is being charged for this moratorium period also will be less, because it is being charged for the outstanding amount, and these type of remaining tenure people can avail the moratorium benefits and they will get only less interest charges. But when you see the same 20 years tenure and you have paid only 1 or 2 years and your balance remaining tenure is 18 months, you will be having an interest component of around 70 to 80% of your total EMI. And if the interest being charged for the entire 6 months of moratorium period for the total outstanding amount, your interest amount will be very high, and these type of remaining tenures who has high remaining tenures should not avail the moratorium benefits. Finally, a single takeaway about moratorium. We have heard a lot about moratorium, but the main key point is, if you really need to avail this benefit, you can opt the moratorium benefits. But if you can pay the EMI amount, but for the sake bank is providing this option, if you opt it, then it is a big burden for you, since the interest amount being charged high. Those who have enough money in your account to pay the EMI, do pay the EMI on time without opting this moratorium benefits. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any doubts, leave a comment. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. If you find it useful, share this video. If you find it informative, subscribe our channel and do follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Vanakkam.